All right, dear devotees, and Govinda Ji, welcome to be with us. You helped back to basics get started in the beginning, and here we are by the grace of Praneshwari Devidasi and all the participants still going on happily. And really it is a personal challenge, not just a challenge for everybody, to keep our basics of Krishna consciousness firm and strong. And so let us keep back to basics. Yes, keep our back to basics, the basis of our spiritual life strong, and may our guardians give us strength for that also, but may they, as they wish, put whatever they wish to construct upon that foundation. So we've come together, and I see Ekadashi from Tomsk is about to join us, along with Davali, their dear cow. All right. So first of all, obeisances to all the devotees. We've come together. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Om jnana timirandasya jnananjana shalakaya chakshur anmilitam jena tasmai shri gurave namaha. Namo mahavaranyaya krishna prema pradayate krishnaya krishna chaitanya namne gora tujay namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shrivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. All right, and I look up and I see that Chintamani Devidasi has joined us too. Govinda, Govinda, Jai Chintamani Didi. And Ekadashi is outside or inside, wrapped up. Oh, inside with Davali. Davali, Hare Krishna. Yes, how cute. All right, Govinda and Gopala, two of the unlimited names of Krishna. But original Krishna name, Govinda, Gopala, along with Krishna. Ishvara Parama Krishna, Satchidananda Vigraha, Anadiradir Govinda, Sarvakarana Karanam. So Anadi Govinda, look at cowherd boy. Yes, devotees. All devotees, I was going to say devotees and seer seekers, but you are all devotees. Any question today, any theme that you may like to say, or anything that has jumped out at any of you for our devotional nourishment this week?
Maharaj, we are also just like Chataka birds, waiting for a drop from instructions from you.
Drop of instruction? Oh my goodness. If you want instruction, that instruction comes from Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, and that first instruction has to be humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. How many times, repeatedly, we are hearing this from all of our masters, and especially Gurudev. I mean, actually, especially everyone, but we've heard from Gurudev. We can say hundreds of times. So why not that this rain may look very ordinary, because rain comes from so many clouds, we think it is ordinary, but that rain is the very life, the life-giving substance. So Gurudev rained, he rained this mantra. He rained this instruction like rain. But we must appreciate that and utilize that nicely. Hare Krishna.
Now you have 3 questions. Nahush is raising his hand, and you have a question from Chintamani in the chat, and also from Govinda Nandini, from Govinda.
Okay, so Chintamani, the first question came up. So Nahush will come to you in a minute, because I noticed Chintamani's question came up a little, well, not very long ago, but maybe the first I noticed. And I have an immediate answer for the current circumstance: how to not be lazy in chanting our rounds. Well, you know, I hate to say it, but if you get COVID, you may feel some urgency not to be lazy in chanting the rounds. And, you know, Deva Priya just mentioning, you know, that many of the devotees in, you know, today, yesterday, or tomorrow, I mean, it's just going around everywhere. You know, they're getting COVID, and we have to take everything in a positive way. And I can say, from my little experience myself, that having the COVID, number one is, I was remembering, and already before this was remembering, how Guru Maharaj is saying how a virus is like us. It's a jiva soul. And a virus is like us. And what right do we to have to take away the life of another for the upkeep of this body, which is such a burden to us, our bodily identification, etc. So I was trying to be friendly with the virus, because really I found that I needed to chant the holy name, because there was nothing else to hold on to in this world. We can't rely on medicine. We can't rely on, you know, anything. What are we going to clutch onto, like clutching straws in this world? And so I honestly tried to have a friendly relationship with the virus, and found myself like in the middle of the night, you know, 1 a.m., 2 a.m., all this time when we should be asleep. You know, we're not asleep. We're having maybe some, you know, challenges, but no desire like for anything of the senses of this world at all, completely separate from any kind of enjoying principle of the remotest kind, and having to take shelter of the holy name. And we think, well, we don't know if we're going to continue to get worse or we're going to get better, but whether we're going to get better, we'll chant. Whether we're going to get worse and worse, we're going to chant. And I just took that as a push, quite a push, to say, okay, only to chant. So chanting, and trying to chant properly, and just thinking about, you know, all the things, what is proper chanting, etc. So, you know, adverse circumstances, we won't be so bold as to invite adverse circumstances, but Queen Kunti herself did recognize that in adverse circumstances, then we may get a little push to take seriously what we know is the right thing, and including and especially taking shelter of the holy name and of Guru and Gauranga's lotus feet, which means through their instructions, all the guidance they've given, and clasping on. So, I mean, this is one aspect of an answer which we can say is a topical answer. And with all of this taking place, then still it's just a reminder that whatever we do in the day, there is danger at every step in this world as far as mortality goes. We know it, but it always will happen to somebody else. So this is also one of those questions put by put to Yudhisthira by the what they say is a duck, but like a crane bird. So what is the greatest wonder? The greatest wonder is everyone's going to the jaws of death, but not taking proper steps for that next chapter. So anyway, to be sensible before we're in critical condition, to take our chanting and our practices seriously. And how not to be lazy. Yes. The best way is to be attracted rather than to be kicked from below. Suffering may give us some kick from below, but we need really to regularly hear, follow the practices of sadhana bhakti as Mahaprabhu explained to Rupa Goswami. Read it, it's there in Chaitanya Charitamrita. By sadhana bhakti, by following the principle, the regulation day by day that's been given to us, the prescription, then we may become cured of our lethargy, our apathy towards our spiritual journey. And then, as Rupa Goswami then came to give in Upadesh, by carefully chanting the names of the Lord every day, by following the practices, then gradually the tongue disease is cured and it hankers, relishes the taste. So we need to use our intelligence to say, yes, I need to follow nicely. And we have the hope that one day we'll be cured of our laziness in our devotional life. And many things. Just yesterday, we are playing, because we do, we are listening to Guru Maharaj in the temple room in the morning. And there, Guru Maharaj, again stressing the extreme rarity of human life, and then out of human life, of having any tendency towards actual search for reality, out of the liberated souls, then how rare it is to find a Krishna Bhakta, and amongst Krishna Bhaktas, devotees of the Lord, who actually becomes a Krishna Bhakta, and what to speak in the line of the highest quarter of Krishna's devotees, extremely rare. So if we, again, can just hear regularly, read regularly from our Guru Devs, Guru Maharaj and Guru Devs, and Srila Prabhupada's books, then we're going to get some food to encourage us to go forward nicely. Upadeshamritam is very good for us all. We've gone through this in our earlier Back to Basics, but Upadeshamritam, 8 verses, Shikshastakam of Mahaprabhu's teachings, these are extremely important for us and helpful for everything, including answering this question about how not to be lazy. This all will give us much life through the direction of what we are doing. Hare Krishna. So this is how not to be lazy. One way to answer. But again, association, be with devotees, this is a big plus. And Govinda Das, how to handle devotees publicly criticizing other devotees for offensive behavior. Well, that is a good question, because, I'm afraid it happens, and we can try to give some nudge in the right direction, but at some point we have to say, I can't hear this for my own protection. I need to close my ears, because it is very polluting to hear criticism of others. And sometimes we have to tolerate for the sake of trying to keep some unity or trying to direct things in the right direction. But how can we change others' attitudes? It is not easy. We must think how we can change our attitude. And we shall try to be polite and not get sucked into all of these things that take place. And there is a current, a downward carrying current, and there's an upward carrying current. Let us, as Gurudev say, let us allow ourselves to be drawn by the upward carrying current and not put ourselves into the downward carrying current. So we don't want to participate in criticism of others, and we don't want to hear that. We don't want to be a party of it. But sometimes we cannot avoid it. And we feel injured when we hear many things which take place. So fortunately, we are largely avoiding such a kind of association. We try to close the door on that, but it inevitably, forcefully comes to us sometimes. And we have to, at least metaphorically, jump into the Ganges with all our clothes on, without any hesitation. Jump in the Ganges, take shelter of the holy name, take shelter of the lotus feet of Guru and Gauranga. Hare Krishna. But then we try to think we can correct another devotee. Well, another point is sometimes you think, why do I have to hear this? Krishna's allowed me to hear something, then it's for me to get some correction for myself, or to try to avoid having to hear things in the first place. And when we hear, not to allow any part of the criticism part to enter into our consciousness, but we have to observe, okay, that person is feeling excited, this, whatever it may be, they have their point to make. But we must not take any mood of criticism. We can take a mood of observation. But we want to save ourselves from being in that association of criticism of others. It's a very destructive wave. Hare Krishna. Shelter of the Vaishnavas, shelter of Guru and Gauranga. Anyway, here's me talking lots again. But there was a hand from Nahush. Where's Nahush from?
From Nahush, yes.
Yes, Nahush.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
I mean, hear your question, and then I'll maybe answer your question briefly, but I want to also pass this on to the other devotees who are here too. But Nahush,
Absolutely.
kindly.
So when I came into Krishna consciousness, I was like in my mid-20s. So as part of devotee association, I tried to have a lot of friends in the Krishna consciousness movement, but it didn't work. So my question is, how do we deal with when we feel we're being neglected by devotees? Or you want to develop deep relationships with others, but it seems like there's no reciprocation or no care. I don't want to make it sound too bad, but it's just, I feel like, I don't know how to describe it. Is it just like Krishna telling us that maybe how do we put ourselves and our sadhana first instead of trying to be worried about external factors like this?
Well, Nahush, a couple of things come to mind, and one of them is that Guru Maharaj, Śrīmān Maharaj, when he describes about his early days and his search for Guru and his search for reality, where to get like proper Hari Katha, etc. Then when he was first coming to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, then when he was coming, then he had great interest and he was eager to hear, and he's listening acutely in the audience. And then it was the time of the British Raj and the independence movement from the British in India. And some of the devotees thought, who is this person who's like so acutely listening? He must be a spy of the British government. And so then Guru Maharaj heard, once, twice, whatever it may be. But then next time he comes, he's coming for another meeting to hear. And the devotees don't let him in because they think he must be a spy for the British. And then Guru Maharaj, he thought, little unhappy that he's being pushed away. But then Guru Maharaj told to the devotees, he revealed that he said, I reflected on that. And that, no one likes to be not only accepted, but turned away by the devotees who are coming to want to be with them. And then Guru Maharaj reflected, well, if there is some substance there, even if the devotees are not friendly with me, even if they try to turn me away, but I should, if there is substance there, I should still come and try to get to that substance, come to hear that substance. Whereas may go to other places, and Guru Maharaj had been in other places where they've got the various so-called religious societies which are giving something about dharma, etc. But he said, but if I'm greeted in a friendly way, but there is no substance there, then what is the value of that? So Guru Maharaj, always like true to the ideal that however others may treat me, the devotees may treat me, I'm coming for the purity which is being presented. I'm coming to see first, like what is here? And by his hearing already, he understood, oh, here there is some purity, there is substance here. But the devotees are not treating me in a very friendly way, or the opposite of friendly, kicking him out. So this is one way that we can see that we also don't want, you can say just superficial friendship. We want to be able to be with the substantial association with devotees. And Krishna will allow that in due course of time. So humility, tolerance, giving honor to others. This will be the theme of our life with the devotees. And actually, Guru Maharaj points out that by getting these qualities, then we will be able to associate with devotees. Having those qualities gives us the capacity to associate with devotees. So this is some aspect. And I can say my own experience, the first times I came to the temple, I practically ignored, and I was quite, I was a fly on the wall. I mean, I was just coming and seeing also, but it's not that everybody welcomed us with open arms. And it was maybe the third time that I went to the temple that somebody actually spoke to me. And then I came out with my list of questions, over prasadam, this, that, and the other. And then step by step, but we do want to come for the substance, and then Krishna, by his grace, will give us good friends within the devotee family, and we'll come to appreciate them. Hare Krishna. So we're coming for the substance. So this is a couple of words from me. But we do have Kumkum and Jivana and Praneshwari and Bhagavan Prabhu, Paravananda Prabhu. We've got so many high-powered devotees with us. So I would like to also ask them to share something. And so who would like to, out of every devotee, doesn't have to be somebody I mentioned, who would like to put up a hand? Oh, it's Gaurangi. Gaurangi did it. I thought it was you. You look so young. Excuse me for saying so, but you look so young. Gaurangi, you look very healthy and well. Happy to have you with us. You look like Gaurangi's daughter. Gaurangi, very good. Welcome. Hare Krishna. Kumkum Didi, would you like to give a little? I had 3 questions already. So today we've been very lucky to get 3 questions to start us in a back to basics mode and mood.
Maharaj, my Dandavad, it's so wonderful hearing your words on these subjects. It's very enlivening. I can't really add anything, but you have brought some thought in me about getting that wonderful, sweet, affectionate devotee association. And I believe that's part of the hope that we live with, that by continuing, that is part of Krishna's promise. We will get that. We'll find that association to be sweeter than we can imagine, even sweeter than we thought we were looking for. So it's part of our determination to keep trying, and he can make it happen very quickly as well. But we should rest assured that that is what will be coming to us. And I think everything that you were saying was exactly what I'd like to echo, that if we try to practice humility and tolerance and giving honor to others and not expecting honor to come back to ourselves, then that's extremely attractive. And it is a natural result too of having association. So if we keep firm faith that by these practices, we will certainly be getting all of our heart's desire to come to us, then we'll experience it far quicker than we might think. And it will also be far better. There's some reason if it seems that we need to wait for some time for the things that we want. But that it is everything. It's more than what we think is everything. So, and I like your point about trying to approach chanting the holy name out of knowing its sweetness, more so than getting kicked into it. I was first thinking there's so many things that I actually just hate to do, like routine things, floss my teeth or something. And if I don't, I definitely get kicked with some sore. But, and chanting is not like that. It's not that I will feel some result. So it's important to know that this is on an entirely different plane from our regular experience. So we do it because our gurus are attracting us to join in this kind of practicing life. And that is part of the sweetness, being with all the devotees, doing that same kind of thing and finding it to be true again and again and again. So like you were saying, it will come to us that we must do that. But there's so many here who can contribute something.
I have a suggestion for Prabhu that works for me and for many devotees around me, and that is to go and do service together with devotees. That's the best way to be close to them and be personal with them by doing service together. Because you can just go in the temple and there is so much service to do, and he can offer a service, and that's how it works best. I remember even Sareshwari when she was alive, and she was always in the kitchen and in temple around, and when there was some issue between devotees, she would just put them together in the kitchen to work together, and there was always be harmony by doing things together.
The perfect, beautiful answer. And this is not a textbook answer, well, maybe from the textbook, but it is a realized answer. This is, yes, this happens. Thank you, Deva, for a valuable contribution. And a servitor, Guru Maharaj saying, a servitor is welcome everywhere. And we see it, we see it. The devotees with serving attitude, they arrive, everyone's face lightens up, and then they themselves get others involved in service like a dynamo. It's not, I'm going to take all the service, but it's a dynamo, also infectious. The serving mood is an infectious mood. Yes, Devapriya, very constructive, very perfect answer to help us along. And what about Chinmoy Prabhu? We don't always have him with us, but we've got him with us today, and he, I'm happy to say, does listen and see the talks of Gurudev and Guru Maharaj, which are recorded. So he has got a storehouse in his heart of many things which he's seen there too, as well as doing service directly for Srila Gurudev in many like personal assistant services. Chinmoy Prabhu.
Maharaj, It came to mind when a question that was asked of the Sridhar Maharaj. She was talking about how some devotees, they take initiation from these false gurus, and maybe the guru falls down, something like that. And Guru Maharaj is very direct, but very sweet responses. Ignorance is not an excuse. So what's coming to our life, his whole point was, what's coming to our life is for our own benefit. That's the vision that we want to have. And that was Sridhar Maharaj's vision, as you were speaking about. The devotees were seeing him in one way, and he was internalizing that and saying, this is about me, this is how I can grow, this is what Krishna is giving to me, this is the path I am taking. So in that way too, that's how our vision is supposed to be. What is coming to us is for our own benefit, especially if we're proceeding along the path of Krishna consciousness. Krishna is going to send to us what we need to progress in this path. And so that's what came to mind on hearing that question.
Jai. Yes, indeed. Another substantial answer. Substance, because it's coming from the substantial adjustment plane, which is Guru Maharaj and Gurudev. Hare Krishna. And anyway, this was a big lesson when we came to Guru Maharaj. Really, it was a big lesson from Guru Maharaj. It's an internal adjustment to the circumstances, and we will come to find the environment is our friend, however unfriendly it may apparently seem, with the dealings with others, with the dealings of our body, our mind, from the devas, from other living entities. We must be happy. Jivana Devirasi. You know we're going to ask you to say something. Because we should, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev's disciple here with us.
Yeah. Please forgive all my millions of offenses and the fact that I have hardly imbibed anything, but I somehow or other find myself in your association. That is definitely a sign that Krishna is so merciful and Gurudev is so merciful to give us such beautiful association. I just sometimes am astonished. But I'll just say really quickly, so Chinmoyde's point, of course, super important to not complain about our environment, but to see that it's coming, and not only to not complain, but to see that it's coming to help us. Sometimes I think, oh my gosh, what is this about? And then I have to stop and think, well, there's something here for me to learn, something for me to take from this situation. And it's not so easy to do that, but at least that consciousness is there. Guru Maharaj and Gurudev have given us that consciousness, and that really helps you through your life. And what Deva Priya said was also brilliant, and she's a really great example of that. Really, you find that who your friends are those devotees that you can do service with. And when you kind of get together, you end up doing some service, cleaning something, doing something, cooking an offering, reading the books to each other, something like that. And that really helps you develop your service attitude and also helps you develop your friendship with the devotees. So they brought up so many beautiful points. So many beautiful points have come up already in this Back to Bhakti Basics class. So I just obeisances to everybody on this class, and please excuse my unlimited offenses, previous, going on, in the future. Always trying to hope that there's some descending mercy coming down for that.
Jai Jivana Devirasi. We cannot compete with your humility and expressions.
Don't worry, it's all fake.
Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, it would really, the association on these calls is just beautiful and amazing.
And
Well,
we
we're
love
coming
you
to-
dearly.
Okay, there was a good summary at the end. Jai Praneshwari Didi. And by the way, Rupanuga Prabhu in Australia just joined us. So for those of us who've not seen the sun on Thursday yet, now we have a little view. The sun does exist. It's coming to us from the Gold Coast, no less. Surfer's Paradise, or whatever the different names of the places. So we're going to get Rupanuga's, the sun from Rupanuga is going to come and shine over the rest of us. Hare Krishna. Yes. Okay.
Like right there.
He's in a little bit of a noisy place, no problem at all. I mean, we want everyone to speak, but Paramanand Prabhu can say a couple of words for us on, we've had 3 different questions and this morning, and all of you are here. Bhagavan Prabhu is here, and Chintamani and Prafulla Krishna Prabhu and Radha Sundari, so many devotees with lots of life's experience are here with us too. And so, we want to hear from everybody, but we also want to hear from everyone. Gaurangi also, a life's experience. And she too has had to, all the COVID thing which is going around the world, it does make you think, because we have to, adjust to this world, which is, sometimes we think it's a comfortable world, and sometimes we get the reminders of really it is not our home at all. So we like to hear from everyone, and Paramanand, a few words first, kindly. And then on a put your hand up basis after that. So please put up your hands for expressing something. Paramanand.
Like Jivana did already said, so many wonderful things been already expressed. So now we're hearing since the very beginning of us joining Krishna consciousness movement. We've been hearing so many wonderful things on a daily basis from our gurus, from our fellow devotees, from seniors, from juniors, from the ones who are our friends on the same level. Now I think is the time how to practice it, actually. And this is why we're gathering together and sharing our life experiences. So one is successful in one way, another is successful in another way. But I remembering first time meeting Srila Vaishnav Maharaj, and the first thing he said, right, we have Maharaj arriving here.
Oh, really? Oh.
I'm going to go there and I'll come back. Yes, you go with Maharaj. I'm going to join in. Anyhow, so meeting, yes, Maharaj.
Afterwards, you can extend to him from all of us our Dandavat Pranam to
I will do that. I will certainly do that.
Yeah.
But I think Maharaj knows, and he's also extending his Dandavat Pranams always. But anyhow, coming back to that theme, I remember meeting Srila Vaishnav Maharaj for the first time to the Srila Prabhu then, and we're having just a short introduction to each other, basically. He knew who I was, I know who he was, but then suddenly he's asking a question. Do you know what is, for a practitioner of Krishna consciousness like us, what is a very important thing in our life? And I said, like chanting the holy name, following the principles, following the Guru instructions. I'm just listing all the things that are coming to my mind. He said, yes, no doubt, those are all important. But from a practical point of view, what is very important is to have a friend in Krishna consciousness. And there's this wonderful talk that Madhusudan Maharaj shared with me, and I always remember. So many beautiful points Srila Guru Maharaj making in that talk, but at the end he's saying, we should proceed on this path in the company of like-minded people who share same interests, same aspiration, moving towards the same goal. The ones who are younger will force you to help them. They force you to be a better practitioners. The ones who are on the same level, they will help you. They will be your good friends. And the seniors will be your ever well-wishers. So in that company, she said, it's fundamental for a practitioner to have friends in Krishna consciousness. But this is why everybody is so enlivened to have these meetings, when we get together and share our life experiences, and not just life experiences about our mundane exploits, but life experiences and devotional life. And everybody, well, I'm not a devotee, I don't have any devotional life. Actually, you do. Everyone does. No matter how much we deny being a humble Vaishnavas, and of course, Jivana is on top of the list of those humble Vaishnavas. But another thing I wanted to bring up, and all this, I don't want to interrupt this whole subject flow, the current that we're discussing at the moment, but today, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nimai Pandit, and please correct me, Maharaj, if it's not today, leaving Navadvip early in the morning, 3 a.m., Srila Guru Maharaj points out.
Correct.
Crosses the Ganges. Yes. And before he is to do that, he is asking everybody, and really this is what Maharaj started with. No matter what you do, that famous verse that were a group of verses we're always singing. Prabhu kohi kohilan te mahamantra. Ki shayani, ki bojani, ki vajagarani. Just chant the holy name, whatever you do, sleeping, eating, walking. And one time, Srila Guru Maharaj says, even fighting, when you're fighting, try to invoke the holy name. It will save you from the offenses. That was a peculiar translation. And I thought, I listened several times. Oh, maybe I misunderstood what Guru Maharaj is saying. But no, he's actually pointing that out. So Mahaprabhu, completely maddened with love for Krishna, at 3 a.m. today, this morning, crossed the Ganges and went to Katwa. And we're going to discuss more, and we should discuss more, and we should actually read more and hear more from our Guru Varga on that subject. But today is the beginning of that Mahaprabhu Sannyas Lila. We can say a festival or remembrance festival of Mahaprabhu Sannyas Lila. And I wanted to ask Srila Madhusudan Maharaj to give us some guidance how properly, in the best tradition of Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Math, mood-wise and actually action-wise, to follow those few days of Mahaprabhu Sannyas Lila.
Well, one of the first things I can say is that Srila Guru Maharaj's example is that he would become very withdrawn at this time. When Mahaprabhu went from Navadip to take sannyas, Guru Maharaj was very withdrawn and quiet and meditative, chanting, and he did give public darshan. Public means that we the devotees would come up to him, but he would be very sort of quiet. And this understanding that this is a tragedy of separation, this is not a happy thing. And for the Navadip residents, and Guru Maharaj in the mood of the Navadip residents, then it is a great tragedy that Mahaprabhu left Navadip forever. And so for honor or recognition of this separation, then Guru Maharaj instituted in the math that for 3 days there'll be no breakfast, and for 3 days the food, the prasadam, okay, maybe many things offered to the Lord, but the devotees will honor very simple watery dal with maybe a potato or something inside, watery dal and watery rice too. Very simple lunchtime, and in the night, very simple also. And for 3 days anyway, to follow like this. And then, by the way, there is no festival. We don't start cooking a feast and everything for when Mahaprabhu, after receiving sannyas, which is generally accepted to be the next day, and then his roaming in the area called Raradesh and eventually coming to Advaita Acharya's home. Even though he did break his fast there, it is not that we have a festival for that day. It's not, oh, now it's a great festival. This is all part of the separation and having and adjusting to the separation of Mahaprabhu, leaving from Navadip forever. And so it's a reflective time. And it is a time when we can reflect too on why Mahaprabhu did this. And he did this for the deliverance of all the fallen souls. And I think we can put up our hands and say, well, we are the beneficiaries, if you like, of all this, because we are the fallen soul department. And Mahaprabhu, he's showing his greatest mercy finally to the fallen souls. And how is he showing it and where is he showing it? That's all revealed from color deep, from the area where our mat, where Guru Maharaj established Sri Chaitanya Sarasat mat. From this area, then Mahaprabhu, the most generous, the most magnanimous Lord, he showed his greatest magnanimity there in Kulia, in Koladeep, the place, the area of Chaitanya Sarasat mat. So this is our great fortune. And yes, there are audio and there are some texts. And in Golden Volcano, there is a chapter, the tragedy of separation. Things to hear, things to reflect. But when Gurudev saw that somebody, not from our mission, but another Gaudiya mission, they put a photograph of Mahaprabhu having his head shaved, Gauranga Sundar, having his head shaved at the time of sannyas, thinking, oh, this is a wonderful photo. They put this on the front of a book. Gurudev was very disturbed to see that, very unhappy. So we must be careful. We must do everything with proper siddhanta, proper understanding. And this is why, whatever tips we know, whatever guidance Gurudev and Guru Maharaj gave, we want to share things like this. Otherwise, easily, devotees, you can say innocently, can do many things which can be harmful for their devotional service also. When Gurudev always looking, why somebody goes away from devotional life, why they become inimical, why there's something, he's always looking to see what was the cause. It doesn't just happen. And offense can happen in savor also, and in many things. So even with pictures, we must be careful. We've seen Gurudev, like quite shocked with some things, and seen how Gurudev is saying, oh, with a particular picture, oh, this is why that devotee who was so good, why he fell from his ideal. This photograph cut off the arm of Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu was not happy. So we must be careful, and so whatever good tips we can get along the way, we must try to utilize that. Hare Krishna. But this was another case. So I was trying to illustrate how Mahaprabhu having his head shaved, this is not a happy time for us. It is the sad time, the break of that sweet relationship of all of the residents of Navadip and the family and his wife and the students and the older section and everybody in Navadip broken due to Mahaprabhu in his extreme graciousness going to deliver the fallen souls. So the sannyas lila, Guru Maharaj was withdrawn. It was a very sobering time. And it's not for us to jump up and down and be happy. Oh, Mahaprabhu is going to take sannyas today. Not only that, when he went to Bharati Maharaj to take sannyas, then in Bengal, the people all gathered together and they threatened, they said, if you give him sannyas, we're going to smash up your ashram. And Bengal can be like this. You get a whole group of people together and they come and the rule of the masses. And then also hearing from Guru Maharaj. We've heard from Guru Maharaj sitting at his feet about describing how Bharati Maharaj then said to Gauranga, he said, I can't give you sannyas. You are so dear to everyone. But if you get the permission of your mother, then I'll consider. And then immediately, Mahaprabhu, immediately without hesitation, and started running back to Navadip to get the permission of his mother, because this is needed. And then Bharati Maharaj called for this, go and get him, bring him back. He can convince anybody of anything. So what's the point of him running back to his mother? He'll just convince her, come back to him, bring him back. So anyhow, in due course of time, then everything pacified, but he didn't receive his sannyas today. Generally, tomorrow is the day is considered that he received his sannyas, and then he roamed in Raradesh. Hare Krishna. And Raradesh includes Hapanir and Bamanpara, that area of Guru Maharaj's appearance, the area of Gurudev's appearance. That whole land crisscrossed by the feet of Mahaprabhu and Nityananda and so many great devotees. A holy, very holy place. And when devotees go there, you can feel it is not of this world. It is somewhere special, somewhere sweet. Hare Krishna. And by the way, today is generally, just wake up in Navadip, and I remember so many times waking up this day in Navadip and just, it's stunningly cold. Somehow it just feels, oh, this is the coldest day of the year. Really, it's the coldest day. And that struck me that different years this happened. Like woke up in the morning, like it's so cold, and then find, oh, and today is the day Mahaprabhu left to take sannyas. Like those two things. And he swam across the Ganges. And if any of you have ever swum across the Ganges, it's a lot further than it looks. And the current also takes you down. We know when we are young, we have done things like this. You'll be surprised. Anyway, Mahaprabhu swam across the Ganges, and then ran to Katwa. Over 2 meters tall, running to Katwa. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Yes, Paramanandu. We changed a little bit subject from where we started out today, but it is Mahaprabhu's sannyas day. Not his sannyas, it's his leaving to take sannyas day. And it's Mahashankranti. And maybe it's the festival of Ganga Saga today, is it? Where the Ganges reaches to the ocean to continue the journey throughout the 14 planetary systems. It may be today, the Mahashankranti day.
Yes, tomorrow on the 14th. No, sorry. It says no, I'm reading the wrong one. Sorry. No, it's the 14th. It says Mahadwadashi, but it doesn't mention anything else, Maharaj.
Govinda, Govinda. Varun is there with Kumkum. Varun, Hare Krishna. Welcome. Oh my goodness, I stole the time. Anybody's hands, please. Some hands. Open house for a hand. Was that a hand? From Rupanuga Prabhu? No. Oh, no hands. Okay. If no hand, no hand. I thought devotees will be popping up with some reflection. Hare Krishna. Navadip Sri Chaitanya Saraswatma.
Oh,
Yes,
Chimoy
Chinmade.
Prabhu.
Well, I was just also thinking of, on the second question, Srila Sridhar Maharaj responded to one devotee's question about a similar situation where that devotee was hearing criticism about his guru. And Sridhar Maharaj's response was he said to take shelter in your service in the holy books and not to engage with that criticism, to avoid.
Means not to argue and get involved. Yeah. Hare Krishna. And we remember, I mean, we came to Guru Maharaj in a very heated time when many heavy things were going on in the previous society. And some devotees were very on fire because in the scripture there's some description. If you hear the criticism of your guru, you should cut out that person's tongue. And then devotees are like very excited like this. And Guru Maharaj say that this is meted out by those who give justice. That is not for the ordinary citizens to do that. That is the king and the legal section. When they are giving punishment for, it is them who will give punishment. They who put people in prison or lash them or whatever it may be. If an ordinary person will do like that, there will be riots. So hopefully he diffused some of the heated thoughts within some of the junior devotees' minds or enthusiastic devotees' minds. Hare Krishna. Yes, to avoid those places. And sometimes we do have to do that. For the sake of some unity, something, we may have to tolerate something, but there is a limit, and we must not cross that limit. When it is looking very unfortunate, we must, as Guru Maharaj always saying, go forward with our eyes open. And Guru Maharaj is opening our eyes. Om Agyana Timirandasya Jnanandana Shalaka Chakshur Anmalitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. But Guru Maharaj opening up our eyes. Look at the teachings. If we hadn't got that shelter of Guru Maharaj, we could be in all sorts of circumstances. But the whole Vaishnava world got Guru Maharaj's great, gracious shelter, directly or indirectly. His guidance came to the whole of the Gaudiya Vaishnava community. And the guidance should not be forgotten. It is not a one-time, it is for forever. And there is no book like Sri Guru and his grace throughout the whole of the Vedas. Specific relationship of guru-disciple relationship, disciple-guru relationship, inter-devotee relationship. It is unique and wonderful. Hare Krishna, Praneshwari Devi Dasi, to everyone. Chat box, what's in the chat box? Let's open the box. Oh, this is for Nahush. Chintamani, okay, Chintamani, thank you for your encouraging words, Chintamani Devi Dasi. Actually,
Maharaj.
Praneshwari Devi. Yes, to Praneshwari, yes, Praneshwari Devi Dasi for hosting.
No, Maharaj, this is for Nahush, but I posted for everyone because it's beautiful. It's a beautiful quote from Srila Gurudev. So if you can read it.
We've hardly heard your voice today, Praneshwari Devi. Please, you read it for us. Srila Govinda Maharaj from the Benedictine Tree of Divine Aspiration. Yes.
Everyone's real friend is that chapter, that section in the chapter. The Vaishnava, the devotee of God, the devotee of Krishna, is the real friend of all living beings and of all human society. He is their natural friend, and he has no enemy in the world. He gives us the teachings of how we also can become Vaishnavas. Vaishnava means the servant of God, Vishnu. one who belongs to Vishnu is called a Vaishnava. Vaishnavas are not sectarian religionists. So you have to
Right.
look for the association of the devotees, for the Vaishnavas. Pay no attention if someone just neglects a comment that you do or doesn't answer a question. Just go ahead and try to serve and smile. When you smile, they will smile back. Believe me, Nahush.
And Krishna sees everything, so don't think that we are alone. Don't think, oh, our service is not being seen, whatever it may be. But still, we shouldn't be doing service thinking, oh, I'll get recognition. It's not a business deal like that.
No.
But still, Krishna sees everything. So nothing that we do in devotional service is lost. And we shall try to look after our own attitude and draw the affection of the devotees. All right, dear devotees, Hare Krishna. So our days are continuing. We're all on the, oh, we're not on the, even all on the same day. Okay, our days, plural, are indeed continuing. And so our day will also continue. And we see that Goswami Maharaj has come today to the Govinda farm in Thailand. So we'll be sharing some, at least some thought that you're getting such good association there in Govinda farm.
Maharaj, the dandavats were conveyed and reciprocated.
Jai. Goswami Maharaj's gracious glance on you all. Very good. Fortunate to have the glance of the Vaishnavas. All right, dear devotees, let our days
Jai
continue.
Srila Bhaktivedanta Madhusudana Maharaj ki Jai.
What? Hare Krishna. And we are happy to be with, excuse me, all the devotees, including Jagamohini Devidasi and all of our dear friends who are on Facebook. Some I can see, some I can't see, as well as all who are here on Zoom and who will see in the present time, in the future also. We're all happily here together and we want to serve together. And as we heard earlier, birds of a feather flock together. Let us fly together happily to our home and safely to our home, and put plenty of oil on our wings so we don't get affected by so many things, so we don't get wet by the water. We have to fly through the rain, but we'll keep on going. Rain or sunshine, we have a journey to continue. Jai Srila Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Rakha Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Vaga ki Jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. And all the present day, Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Acharya Brinda ki Jai. All Sri Dandi Sannyasigan ki Jai. Anantakoti Vaishnava Brinda ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. To each of the devotees, our obeisances, Jais, stay safe, and we'll see you all soon. Banchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patyanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai. And Udaran Prabhu joined us just too, it seems. Jai. Dandavat, Dandavat.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day. And happy to see each of you one by one. Prafulla, oh, Prafulla disappeared. Oh no, he just danced on my screen to someone else, just as I was mentioning your name. To each of you one by one. My Dandavat Pranam. Stay warm, stay safe, chant Hare Krishna, be happy. Ami Ashchi, I leave you together.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you.
Dandavat. Dandavat Govinda, yes.